So I was thinking we'll play today. I'm going to do Dolphin Prelude a little different. Instead of on the floor, we'll do it on the wall or a chair or a couch. If you prefer to do it the regular way on the floor, that's fine. But we'll start in Resting Butterfly, which is kind of, I guess, like Dolphin Prelude upside down. Sure. As a simplest variation of Resting Butterfly is just to lie on your back in Butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana. But I would like to add a little heart opening. So if you would, you can take your yoga blanket or your towel. And there's several ways you can roll this up. This is going underneath the back. So some people like to roll it up like it's a yoga mat, so it goes along length of spine. I prefer to use our more traditional yoga roll like we use for abs. And then we'll use it again later, spoiler. Where we fold the blanket in half, so it's about the size of a yoga block, and roll it up tight, so it'll go between the upper shoulders. If you prefer to keep your blanket long, or if you have a yoga bolster you want for the length of your spine, that's fine. That is not incorrect. It just opens the spine in a slightly different way, which might be neat to experiment for you. Now, you might want an extra blanket for your head. So again, I'm going to put in the upper back between shoulders. So starting around the bra line up, so that the low spine is hanging free, being traction by the shape. My knees feel comfortable unsupported. You might want to use blocks or blankets to support your knees. If using a block, try to angle it so the flat edge of the block is against your flesh rather than the point. And position of head. Most of my teachers would cue the head slightly higher than the heart so your chin can soften down to your throat. If having the head in line with your chest and spine, or even backwards slightly, feels right to you, your neck is healthy, that's fine. All right, so it looks like you guys are settled in. If you have questions about what you're feeling, so you can relax in the shape. It is a restorative pose. But unlike restorative yoga class, we'll start to turn on Ujjayi breathing in the shape. So if the butterfly legs don't work for you, any other leg is fine. Shavasana legs. I would take advantage of the open chest space, lung space to grow these first few exciting inhales. And the effort would be in slowing the exhale until it's completely out. I do say exciting because breathing in this way up in the upper lungs can cause the heartbeat to pick up a little. Can bring the tingle that sometimes accompanies anxiety. So if you notice that coming up and you recognize that you're safe, focus on slowing the exhales and stay with what you're feeling. Feel it, don't push it away. Retraining your nervous system. If over the next couple of minutes anxiety continues to build, that you're tensing up, then change the shape so you can relax. Less thrust in the chest. And if by now your exhales are starting to be the same length as your inhales. You're gaining control over the breath. Then bring the breath further down. Get the low ribs to expand. Exhale, feel the back body sink into your bolster. Your shoulders relax, your neck relaxes, your jaw relaxes. Slowing the breath so it starts to fill the belly, expand the low ribs. Exhale, feel your heavy hips on the floor, giving traction to your spine, swaying towards earth. As you breathe into lower body, you might imagine your breath seeping into the spaces between the bones of low spine, nourishing those spaces. And finally, see if your slow inhales can make their way down to the lowest part of the belly. So the low belly rises from the pubic bone. The pelvic floor relaxes. Exhale, feel for softness around the hips, the tops of the thighs, and the groin. Optional for the last couple of breaths to add the arms into the shape. Bring your hands onto your chest and interlace your fingers. Then reach your knuckles to the ceiling, but leave the shoulders hanging back over your bolster. And then move nice and slow as you exhale the hands towards the ground overhead, pausing when you feel the low back start to lift. Then use your slow exhale down into the low abdomen to release the low back, heavy hips. And then maybe the arms come down a little lower, but they might not. You might stay in that traction shape. See if you can soften the front low ribs back in towards the waist, not by pulling, just as your low back relaxes. And let the arms sweep down along the floor. You might use your hands to help pick your knees up from butterfly. Ease yourself over to one side. You can take one of your blankets props with you as a little pillow. I want you to pause in the fetal curve for just a moment. Your chin bowed down, your knees tucked in a little, allowing the spine to gradually counter curve. And to use as little effort as possible, press up to sitting. You can press your hands down, maybe extend the top leg out to ease you up. Use physics. And we'll come into square pose series. Seated stretches. Square pose, either crossing your right shin in front of your left. So if you tend to go into Sukhasana with your ankles crossed, bring your feet forward a bit and then bring them over towards your knees. So you're a little more of a square shape of the shins and thighs, different part of the hip. If your shins are ready to stack, you can put right shin on left shin. Side bend. We'll bend towards let's bend to the right. Walk right hand out to the side. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, right hand on the ground, elbow drawing in as you drag shoulder down. Release your neck to the right. You might feel for pressing the elbow forward a little as you roll the shoulder back and lift your heart to breath. Inhale, lift the ribs off the hips. Exhale, look down at right hand. Bring the left hand down close to the right, so you're bowing over the right thigh. Bowing might be releasing the head, neck down. Or you might be in a twisted forward fold shape, starting to ease your elbows down. Keep pinning the left hip down, pull your low belly in. Inhale, lift the ribs up again and walk your hands forward so you're bowing over your two shins. Bowing again can be just head, it can be forward fold, but see if you can do it in a way that your shoulders stay back and gliding down away from head and neck. So those of you who come pretty far forward, putting elbows on blocks might be helpful so your shoulders kind of poke out behind you as your heart moves forward. Inhale, lift the heart, maybe glance your eyes forward, pull your belly in. And exhale to come up to sitting. Change the cross of your legs, left in front of right. Walk left fingertips directly out from your hip, 18 inches. Right arm up, inhale. Exhale, left hand down, drawing the left elbow in, maybe nudging it forward a bit as you widen through the upper chest and release your head, neck to the left. If you're feeling a lot of crunch in left side, you can also pull on the mat with left hand to help you elongate left ribs from hip. And look down. Bring your right hand down. So now you're bowed over the left thigh. Inhale, lift and spin your belly. And exhale, soften in, root, tailbone, pubic bone down. And root through your tail. Inhale, lift the chest, walk your hands forward. And exhale, bow over your shins. Root back through tail, hug navel to spine, press yourself up to sitting with a released neck. And find your yoga roll, come down onto your back. Yoga roll like this. So again, if you didn't make it like that, blanket from the long way, fold it in half. And from its short edge, roll it up tight. Hold this between your thighs, legs straight up to the sky. If legs aren't ready to be straight, that's fine. Keep the knees bent, any angle. Just make sure the knees stay over the hips. They will gradually come in towards the chest as your hip flexors take over. I want them to stay slack. Active feet, press the balls of the feet up, pull the toes back, make space between toes, interlace hands behind head and neck. Turning to the ceiling to cradle head, send your inhale breath down into low back, imprint it into the mat, squeeze your roll. Exhale, curl head and shoulders straight up, pull your belly down. Relax the head back into your hands and make sure you're not pulling on it. Inhale, head and shoulders down. Hold the breath in. Press low back flat. Squeeze roll. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Draw navel to spine. Inhale, head and shoulders down. Hold breath. Press the low back flat. If it feels right to tuck the tail, you can tuck, squeeze or roll. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. If you feel pinching around your hip bones, any burning, then don't tuck. Inhale, head and shoulders down. Hold breath. Press low back flat. Squeeze, roll. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Draw navel to spine. Keep pulling your toes back and pressing balls of feet to sky. Inhale, head and shoulders down. Hold the breath. Press the low back flat. Squeeze, roll. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Draw navel to spine. Keep squeezing, roll as you inhale, head and shoulders down. Hold the breath. Press the low back flat. Squeeze. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Pull your belly down. 2 more. Inhale, head down. Hold breath. Press low back flat. Squeeze, roll. Exhale, head and shoulders up. Navel to spine. Inhale, head down. Hold breath. Press low back flat. Squeeze, roll. Maybe tuck tail. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Pull your toes back. Pull your belly down. Press head into hands to release your throat. Inhale, head and shoulders down. Feet down. Resting butterfly if that's right for you. Otherwise, put your knees together. Walk your feet out. Run breath into low belly, low back, and pelvis. So as series on a block, find your block and have it in reaching distance as you set it for bridge, lying on your back with your knees bent, your feet on the mat. We'll take 3 breaths in bridge. Relax your arms alongside body. Lift and spread your toes. Press the foot down, both heels and the balls of the feet as you press hips to sky. Keep your belly in. Breathe up into your upper ribs over your arms and your chest. Exhale, tilt the tailbone up between your knees. 2 more breaths. Press down with feet to drive hip bones straight up. Then reach for your block. Slide it underneath your pelvis the low way. Lower your sacrum all the way back down to the block. The sacrum is the back of your pelvis. So your hips are on the block, but your low back is completely free. Pointy edge of block, not digging into low spine whatsoever. Take a breath. Exhale, draw right knee to chest. Holding onto the right leg wherever you can. If you can wrap your hands around the shin with your shoulders relaxed, you do that. If you prefer to hold onto the thigh or wrap a towel or a strap around your thigh as a way to make your arms longer. Send breath into right hip. Exhale, hug it in, untuck the tail, sacrum heavy on your block. Inhale, back bottom ribs towards the floor. Exhale, hug right knee in. This time, do tuck the tail and straighten your left leg out. Floating the left leg, so straighten it all the way. Activate your foot, lock your knee, but then relax the left hip so your heavy left leg is hanging down from the hip. If it touches the floor, then just retuck your tail, breathe the back bottom ribs down onto your yoga mat. They don't have to touch, but just feel that direction of your breath, back bottom lungs. And left leg relaxed at the hip, gradually opening up the front of the hip and thigh. Run your breath into wherever you're feeling the traction, the release. Set the left foot on the floor. Set the right foot on the floor. Untuck your tail, heavy sacrum en bloc. Breathe into back bottom ribs. Exhale, left knee to chest. Continue to breathe into left hip, easing the left thigh in toward you. These were the same tissues we were just tractioning, so they might be cranky as you flex them. Be patient. Run breath. Don't fight. And when there's ease in the left hip, send breath into back bottom ribs, as if you're trying to lie them onto the mat. Exhale, tuck the tail and straighten your right knee. Activate your right foot. And then release the right hip. Right leg, have it hanging towards earth. Send your nourishing breath to wherever you're feeling the organic rate of release in right thigh, right hip. And set the right foot down. Set the left foot down. Relax your arms. Breathe into back bottom ribs. Exhale, pull low belly in, press your feet down, and send hips up to the ceiling in bridge. 3 more breaths in bridge. Move the block out of the way and take 3 breaths to lower down. Big breath up into chest. Exhale, roll the upper back down. Pause. Tuck your tail. Pretend there's a cushion between your thighs. Give it a little hug. Breathe into heart. Exhale, roll mid-spine down. Hover your hips. Tuck tailbone, press feet down, and then roll low spine down and pelvis. Figure 4, right ankle, left thigh. Hug it in. Untuck the tail towards the earth. Breathe into low back. Change legs, left foot, right thigh. Soften chin into chest without lifting your head. And find your way into a space where you can see me. Dolphin prelude variations. Now you guys should be familiar with this variation. We come down onto elbows, measure elbow width, interlace hands, and then rest head on floor, point knuckles to sky, allowing the heart to hang, breathing the heart towards the earth, softening the upper back between shoulder blades. So you're absolutely welcome to stay with what you know. I like the way this feels on my couch. You might prefer to use a chair or a wall. So I'll give cues for all of those things. Have a blanket. Let's use a blanket for calf stretching. Let's multitask. So blanket or a rolled up yoga mat. Roll your blanket up so it looks like a rolled up yoga mat, 4 to 6 inches in diameter. Let's see, you can see my couch on camera. You'll stand about an arm's length distance from whatever you're working with. With your feet on the roll. If you're working at a wall, sorry, can't balance like that. If you're working at a wall, you'll stand with your hands on the wall and your roll right behind your feet. So I'll do my pantomime. talent. You'll step your feet back. Well, you'll walk down the wall into like a down dog shape. Step your feet back onto the roll. Put your elbows on the wall, clasp your hands, and release your head and neck down. That's what that looks like on the wall, kind of. If you're using a couch or chair, stand about an arm's length distance from it. Set your feet. You can put your hands down on your couch or chair to set your feet on your roll. Both heels are on the earth, outside edges of feet parallel to each other. Lower down onto your elbows. Clasp your hands and rest your forehead on your couch or chair. Maybe point your knuckles to the sky. If you're on a chair, you might want to pat it if you have a wood chair like I do. So your elbows, you're not on the nerve. So you'll feel calf stretch. Cynthia, step your heels back. Heels are on the floor, feet are on the roll. Double calf stretching. Oh, I see. You were just trying to hold your roll in place. Got it. Right on. All right, now lower your elbows down. Rest your head down. You might rest it right on the edge of the chair. So this is a little different from dolphin. You are sinking into your shoulders. Your shoulders might not like that. And so if you need to push down like dolphin, that's fine. Dorian, I can't see you. So if you have questions, just unmute yourself and ask. This should feel kind of good. It's a sweet down dog stretch on the legs, but allowing the shoulders, upper back to relax, unlike in down dog where they're efforting a lot. And then optional add-on, pointing knuckles to sky. All right, take 5 more quality breaths in whichever pose you're in. Run your breath into your upper back between your shoulder blades. And exhale, feel for softness between shoulders into neck. Your spine, your belly might be completely relaxed if that feels like a sweet stretch, or you might be pulling the low belly in, reaching back through tail. For some backs and hips, that's more necessary. When you're ready to come out, lower your knuckles back down. Make sure you're firmly on the chair with either your elbows or come back to your hands, and then step off your roll, step forward and ease yourself up. And let's come back onto the floor for dolphin. On your knees, lower down to your elbows. Wrap your hands around your upper arms so your elbows line up under your shoulders. Either clasp the hands in front of you or place the palms down in front of your elbows. Try to keep forearms parallel to each other. Push the earth away to lift out of shoulders. Release head, neck between your arms and lean your hips back. Dolphin prep. Option, tuck your toes. Inhale, exhale, lift your knees up. Keep moving hips back out of shoulders. Hug your elbows in towards your head as you press down into the earth, stabilizing the shoulder. And then use your low belly, reaching your hips back to stretch back from the shoulders. Nice. All right, lower your knees down. Sit up on your heels for bird's wing. If kneeling's not great for your knees today, then stand up. We'll be heading there next. Bird's wing, palms up, elbows hug into your front ribs. Send breath into the space between your shoulder blades. Might be vibrating back there. Good. Exhale, squeeze shoulder blades in, squeeze elbows in, rotate the hands out. Take 3 breaths. hugging the upper arm bones into the shoulder blades. And relax your arms, come up to standing. Uddiyana. You can come into full horse or, I don't know, little horse. Separate your feet a little wider than your mat, like a wide catcher stance. Hands on your thighs, elbows locked out. So your arms, bones are supporting your spine. Your abdominals can relax. Take a huge breath in. Blow the breath out. Empty out and then hold your breath out. Tuck your chin into your throat. Pull your navel to your spine. And then re-lengthen your spine to fly the abdominals up into your rib cage. Flare your ribs. 2 more like that. Huge breath in. Complete exhale to empty. Hold the breath out, tuck chin, and Uddiyana while you're holding breath out. When it's time to breathe, relax belly. Standing BB with a roll. When you are complete, come to the front of your mat. With the roll you use for abs, if it's still intact. If not, you can use your yoga block instead. Want to hold it between thighs, close to pelvis. Make sure your feet are parallel to each other. Sometimes the roll will turn the toes out. If anything, air on toes in, heels out. Hug the roll, send it towards the earth. Bring hands to back of hips. Whether you use your palms, your thumbs, or your fists, I'll leave that up to you. To press the sacrum straight down. Inhale, telescope your rib cage up. Exhale, roll the shoulders back, tweeze the elbows back. Keep breathing your heart straight up towards your tucked chin, or if you prefer to release the head back, you can relax head back and then continue to roll the shoulders down away from head neck. 2 more breaths to get taller and taller. Press, roll down to the space between your heels. And press down on your hips. Huge breath into heart. Pulls your spine forward. If your head was back, let it follow heart. Head comes up last. Take the roll away. Utkatasana. You can step feet together or make sure they're hips width apart. Inhale, sit back and chair. Weight back in your heels. Pull your belly in. Inhale, lift your chest. Lift the side ribs. Exhale, forward fold. Sun salutes. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. You can come to a tabletop to do down cats and cows instead of chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Inhale, step or jump your feet forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Inhale, feet forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. 3 more. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chaturanga. You can skip it and step right into down dog. Inhale upward. Exhale downward. Or you might feel how it's the full body cat-cow. Inhale, jump forward. So you can choose regular cat-cow. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Inhale, come forward. Last time. Exhale, fold. Breathing through your nose if you can. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Stay in down dog. Engage your bandhas and breathe, or take a rest. If you choose child's pose, I would choose a wide knee child's pose so you're not flexing the spine too much. Warrior two, right foot forward. Shoulder shrugs. Relax your arms down. Line your back heel up with, or back hip up with your back heel. And float your shoulders over your hips. Relax your arms. Breathe into the back of the rib cage. Hold the breath in. Hike your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze the tops of the shoulders back towards each other and exhale. Keep squeezing as you pull shoulder blades down into your upper back. Inhale, broaden your upper back. Exhale, squeeze middle angles of the shoulder blades in and pull them down. Inhale, broaden back body. Exhale, bottom angles of the shoulder blades draw in towards each other. The arms can help. Elbows bend and squeeze back towards each other. Relax your arms. Again, huge breath into the upper back between shoulders. Hold the breath. Hike your shoulders up. Squeeze the tops of the shoulders up and back, and exhale. Keep squeezing. Massage shoulder blades into upper back. Inhale, spread shoulders apart. Keep them down. Exhale, draw the middle angles of the shoulder blades straight in towards the spine. Keep the arms relaxed, the jaw relaxed. Squeeze the upper back in. Inhale, widen the upper back. Exhale, bottom tips of your wings come in and try to pull down to the tail. The elbows might come in and pull down towards tail. Press elbows forward, hands back. Breathe the back ribs out. Exhale, relax your arms. Reverse warrior. Right arm up. All expressions of reverse warrior fine. Neck release, back traction. Half bound. Nice, Cynthia. Now start to turn the pinky blade of your hand down to the floor like you're pointing your elbow forward, and then straighten your arm. Lots of energy through all the hand bones. Twisting lunge, hands on sacrum, hands down to either side of right foot. Lower your back knee down onto the mat. Walk your left hand out to the side off the mat. Put your right hand on your sacrum. Sink your hips. Find if your spine sways, kind of like we do in lounge lunge. As your shoulder rises, your ribs sink towards left wrist. That's not going to work for everyone's body, so use your abdominals to take some of the weight off your hand. You can lower your elbow down onto ground or block. That's okay. Lunge. Low lunge. Hands come down to either side of front foot. Re-square your hips. Pull the left hip back. Drop the right hip under. Inhale your chest forward. Rise onto fingertips. Exhale, drop your tail towards right heel. Lift and spread the toes of right foot. So any weight goes down into the heel if your knee bends forward. any pressure, not pressure. You're centered at your glutes, no pressure in the knee. Either stay here or arrow lunge, pressing the top of the left foot into the earth and floating left knee up. Pull your belly in a lot. An option, hands to thigh or to sky, knee down or up. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior two. Relax the arms down. Bring the right hip back in line with right heel. Float the shoulders over your hips. Serratus anterior activator. Reach your arms forward in front of your shoulders. Bend your elbows like you're holding a yoga block in front of your elbows. Actually, turn your palms towards your face. Hug your block. Inhale, lift the block up. Breathe the back ribs out. So you're not lifting your block up with your spine. Exhale, soften the block down. Don't drop it. Inhale, back ribs out. Spine stays straight, neutral as the block rises. Exhale, lower down. Take 2 more breaths like that. Send your block forward and up, hands forward and up. And keep the block up for a moment. Give it a squeeze, send it forward, reach your hands forward, spread them wide. Huge breath into the upper chest and upper back. Exhale, release your hands, interlace hands behind your back. Pull on your hands to squeeze shoulder blades together. If that hurts your joints, pull on a strap between your hands instead. Reverse warrior. Left arm to sky. Or perhaps mirror the variation you chose on side one if you chose a variation. So the reverse warrior universally will side bend our spines to the right. What you do with the arms, hips is up to what helps the opening of your spine, especially left side spine. Twisting lunge, hand on sacrum, hands down to either side of front foot. Lower the back knee down. Especially those of you who are discovering the joys of padded knees, make extra padding for your knees. It's amazing what can release in the hip when the knee is safe. Right hand over to the side of your mat, left hand on your sacrum. Turning your body to the left, maybe letting your spine start to hammock down towards right wrist. That's optional. Low lunge. Bring your hands back to frame the left foot. Back your hips up to square them off. Right hip back. Left cheek tucking under. And then drop your hips towards the front heel. Breathe your heart forward. Rise onto fingertips. Option arrow lunge. Spread the right toes and then press your foot down into mat so right knee might hover off mat. Pointy toe lunge. If you're really connected to core, tail down, belly up, then maybe you don't need your hands anymore. All right, slowly ease back down the way you came up and find your way back to downward dog. Warrior one or crescent, hands on hips. Step the right foot forward, Hands on hips, square your hips forward. So whether you ground the back heel with your toes angled out, the Ashtanga Warrior 1, or you come onto the back toes. In some yogas, this is Warrior 1. We call it Crescent. That's up to you. What allows you to guide your pelvis down with your hands, and then inhale, lift front, back, side ribs up off your pelvis, lift your chest up. Exhale, roll shoulders back, tweeze elbows back. And same as standing BB. If you want to keep your chin tucked or if you want to look up, as you open up the rest of the spine, let your neck benefit. Conscious gaze. Upright pigeons. Lower your hands down. You might want some propping here in the upright pigeon so your spine can feel just as long as it just did in Crescent. So maybe roll, block, bolster under right hip. Maybe blocks for your hands. So if you do feel you can drop your tail down, scoop your belly up like an arrow, then maybe the blocks are right by your hips or your hands are by your hips. And you're continuing to lift through your pigeon heart. Breathe it forward, shoulders back. If that feels very pinchy on your back, you can do your upright pigeon like a low cobra with your blocks, hands way out in front of you, and then pull the earth towards you to pull your heart. Proud pigeon chest forward, shoulders back. If you want to take a short visit, 2 or 3 breaths in your sleepy pigeon, go ahead. Otherwise, take 2 or 3 more breaths upright. Of course, if you want a longer sleepy pigeon, stay. You'll catch up. And then find your way back to downward facing dog. Left foot forward, Crescent or Warrior 1, hands on hips. If it's okay on shoulders, maybe you walk your hands towards the back of your hips to tweeze the elbows towards each other and send your pelvis, like, literally holding your pelvis in your own hands, press it down. And from your grounded pelvis, inhale, lift all the ribs up, front ribs, side ribs, and especially back ribs. Good. Lift the middle ribs off the low ribs. Keep breathing the chest and collarbones off the rib cage. Exhale, tweeze, elbows back, roll shoulders towards each other. Gaze wherever neck feels part of that lengthening spine. And by the way, chin down is a stretch. It's almost like doing a shoulder stand with your shoulders back. So all are correct. All right, upright pigeon. Ease your way down onto left shin. Keep breathing. If you're getting props assembled under hips, hips higher so they can stay squared off, rolling that right thigh under. Some people teach this sitting on your left hip. I don't like the way that warps the pelvis, but that doesn't mean it's incorrect. I like to feel for the tail rooting down and the low belly scooping off of the pubic bone as a way to elongate your spine from the inside. Lift your heart from the inside. Again, the low cobra variation is fine. Your hands might be forward as you pull your heart and your ribs out of your low back. All right, if you're going into sleepy pigeon, now's where I'm giving you a couple breaths. But your breath is not mine to give, so take what you need. And find your way back to downward dog. We're heading down to the floor, sitting. So if your body does not want one more downward dog, that's fine. We'll meet in Dandasana, upward facing staff, sitting with legs straight, feet flexed. If possible, big toes are touching. Pinky toes are pulling back. Hands pressed into the ground by your hips to lengthen the spine up. Lift the back ribs up, lift your chest up, roll your shoulders back, tuck your chin down into the notch between collarbones. Gaze your eyes, soft eyes, towards big toes. Strong breathing. Paschimottanasana variations. Lift your chin, release that pressure. Any expression of forward fold. Maybe you reach your feet or big toes. Maybe you bend your knees and hug them in. Inhale, glance eyes forward, pull belly in. Exhale, come up. Point your toes, Purvottanasana. Walk your hands back behind your hips, fingers facing toes if possible. Reverse plank or heart opening shape. Point your toes, big toes towards the earth. Press down with your hands to lift your chest. Breathe up into your heart. Roll the shoulders back. If it's right for you to lift your hips into the full plank. Again, choice chin tucked or head back. Both are fine. If your head's back, it'll stay back as you slowly lower the hips down. Breathe your heart forward. Navasana. Bend your knees, feet on the earth. Hands hold on behind your knees. Inhale to lift up out of your low back. Ease shoulders back. Balancing on your two sitting bones. We'll just do one round for 8 breaths. So your choice if you want to lift your feet up, extend your legs, or release with your hands. Keep breathing our heart forward and up. You can reach with your hands and pull your belly in. The energy of this should almost feel like you're going to fall forward instead of back onto your back. Well, to me, that's where I find the balance. You should be right in the middle, pulled in both directions. One more breath. All right, cross your ankles. Bring your feet down by your hips. Either hook elbows around your knees to lift out of low back, or some of you like to lift your seat off the ground. Pull your belly in. That's fine. Upward Konasana. 2 ways to get into this. You can either cross your ankles or bring your feet like into a Baddha cone, catch your big toes. Oh, let's do Baddha cone first. I'm sorry. Baddha Konasana. Any expression. Inhale, glance your eyes forward. Pull your belly in to come up. Options for Konasana, either stay seated. Again, rock back so you're balancing on your sit bones and see if you can lift your feet off the ground. You can hold on to big toes or you can hold on to the feet and start to open the legs into your happy baby or your full angle or archer. Draw one knee back in its bow. Or to set up, you can come into a plow shape. Do we have enough room to do this? I'm going to set up in this direction and hope for the best. From plow, snug shoulders towards each other. Do not look your head around. So watch me. Don't try to watch me and do it at the same time. Open your legs into straddle, catch your big toes. Take a couple breaths here to pull your belly in. And then on an in-breath, rock up onto your sitting bones. Not while you're talking. All right. When you are satisfied, either come into a happy baby. I was hoping to get into dolphin on the wall. So if you would like to use the upward energy to move into a more inversion dolphin on the wall, just make sure you take time to rest and wind down after. Dolphin on wall, chair, or couch. I have a chair. Set up like you would for dolphin with your feet up against the wall. If you're on the wall, you'd put your feet exactly at your hip height, no higher. So you're piked when you come up. I like the chair. It turns out that's very helpful to push down into. If you're at a wall, push your feet straight into the wall. Happy babies might move into sleeping butterflies, bringing your feet towards each other and toward your face. Supta Baddha Konasana variation. Dolphin, when you're satisfied, rest in embryo pose for a few breaths. Option as you keep your forehead on the floor. Feel everything heavy held by the ground. Maybe some gentle shoulder rolls, easing shoulders up towards ears, and then back towards each other down the back with a relaxed neck. Only that continues to soothe and slow your breath. Those of you who've been lying on your backs, if you're not already in Shavasana, you might take some final spinal twists. If you're in Shavasana, that is the goal. Don't feel like you have to do more. If your body's not ready for Shavasana, then spinal twist. And as always, if you would like to continue to rest, stay. Otherwise, take a big breath in, sigh or moan it out. Move slow as you bend your knees and ease off to one side. Pause on your side for a moment. Feel the ground below. Relax into the ground. Let it hold you. And press yourself up to sitting. Palms together. Thumbs at sternum, lift heart. May the fruits of our practice benefit not only us, may they be a benefit to all our relations. Namaste. Thank you very much for your playfulness, my friends. And if for any reason you're still feeling a little lightheaded or just a little back tweaky, my prescription, well, I'm full of ideas, but do 8 more rounds of abs with a roll.